New tonight at 6.
I think for Los Angeles, we have benefited by what RIDGECREST has suffered.
LA's earthquake report card. Our neighbors here ready for a direct hit from Mother Nature. Good evening again, everyone. I'm Carolyn Johnson.
And I'm Chuck Henry. Well, as RIDGECREST and Trona continue to assess the damage from last week's two big shakers and the biggest one, that 7.1 earthquake, seismologists say there is a lot that we can learn here in the LA area from the strong shaking.
NBC4's Conan Nolan begins our live team coverage from Pasadena with some of the lessons learned. Conan.
That's right. Good news for RIDGECREST. The report here is that the aftershock sequence has tapered off considerably. And while they're still dealing with damage, there's also good news for the massive population 130 miles to the south. There was no damage in Southern California, but we felt the earthquake enough for us to perhaps prepare for when it's our turn. It has long been her most frequent question. Are we ready?
I always have to say much more than we used to be and not as much as we should be.
Caltech seismologist Dr. Lucy Jones gives high marks to many local governments for requiring the retrofitting of so-called soft-story buildings, the kind that suffered major damage in the '94 Northridge earthquake.
It's not just Los Angeles. We have a dozen other cities that have moved on this. Those are really important. Those are making a difference. They're preventing the damage in the first place.
But other cities have lagged behind, as have private building owners. She supports compelling them to act.
I think every building owner should personally look and say, do I need to have an inspection? Just because you haven't been told you have to retrofit doesn't mean you're safe. It just means you aren't the worst ones that government feels compelled to act on.
Last week's 6.4 and 7.1 magnitude earthquakes got the attention of millions. For those who advocate preparation, that's a good thing.
Don't think of this as going out and buying a kit and buying water. Think of this as going and talking to your neighbor or to your church or to your school and saying, how do we work together to be ready to help each other? That's what's really going to make a difference for us.
It's not just about surviving a major earthquake, she says, but having a community you can return to.
The earthquake is absolutely inevitable. The disaster is not. That depends on what we do before then. And which year it happens in is unfortunately random, and we hate it being random, but we have to learn how to live with that part.
A soft-story building is one such as the Northridge Meadows apartment complex that collapsed in the '94 quake, one where the living quarters is built over the garage. There are thousands of buildings like that still in Southern California that have not been retrofitted. The hope here is that this latest earthquake will inspire those owners to consider retrofitting on behalf of their investment, their tenants, and their community. Reporting live outside Caltech, I'm Conan Nolan, NBC4 News. Back.